Hello everybody, it's Callan Olive from Mindful Therapy Solutions, and today we are going to talk about slowing down and being present. So the reason I wanted to talk about this today was actually because of something that happened last night at my house. Last night, my husband had a meeting, and so he had to be gone during bedtime. And so I stay at home with my kids a lot of the day, other than times that I'm working. And so a lot of the times by the end of the day, I am pretty exhausted and ready for them to be in bed and for me to have a little break for a little while. So doing bedtime by myself is always kind of a sad thing because I'm not sure I have the energy for it. But so last night that happened, and I was gearing myself up. We did bath time. I was getting them ready for bed. Luckily, my youngest, my little baby, was asleep, but I had my two boys that I was still putting to bed. And right as I was putting them down in their beds, they asked if I could read them a book. And you always hit that moment as a parent that's like, oh, okay. And everything inside of me was like, no, just go to bed. But the parent and the mom inside of me was like, no, let's stop for a moment and read them a book. So I did. So I grabbed a book, and then of course that turned into 3 books. But as I was reading with them, I watched their faces and I noticed their smiles and their laughter, and I connected with them in that moment. And it just struck me right then how much of my life I am spending going from one place to the next place to the next place. My calendar is crazy. My schedule, every hour of my day is planned out. And that gets exhausting after a while. And slowing down and being present with my boys for that moment was rejuvenating for me and was special. And they probably won't even remember it. But it just made me think about how often we just run through the day to day of our lives without ever slowing down and noticing that the good things that are happening. Um, Recently, I was actually listening to a TED Talk radio podcast. I don't know if many of you have listened to it, but if you haven't, it's excellent. But I was listening to about happiness, and this guy, Matt Killingsworth, created an app that basically would remind you every once in a while. It would just pop up as a notification on your phone and would remind you to think about what you're doing. Notice what you're doing. Are you happy in this moment? Are you not happy? Is this something that you have to do? Is it something that you could change? And so he gathered all of this data from people doing this through his app and was able to do some research based on what people said made them happy. And what he found was that when people were present in what they were doing, even if it was something unpleasant, that they were happier. So, for instance, when people were on their commutes home, a lot of people list that as like the number one thing they hate about their day is their commutes, right? But the people who were present and involved in their commute and noticing their surroundings and noticing, the people in the cars next to them or whatever, they were happier in that moment than people who were trying to find some kind of distraction or something else to think about. And so, really, this has just been solidified for me in a lot of ways. And I think this could have so much value in our relationships. It could have value with our relationships with our kids and our relationships with our husband or our partner. And I am grateful for that lesson. And I hope that maybe we can all be a little bit better about slowing down and taking some time in this crazy world that we live in. So, comment below, let me know ways that you're going to try to slow down, ways that you can find to maybe take a break and be present for a little while in your lives. And then share this video if you think you have a friend or a family member who could benefit from it. See you, and I'll see you guys next time.